Hey everyone, this is Tom Hanks, and today I will announce the final challenge in the Classic Rally competition. I can't believe I'm saying that. It's been a great time with you guys. I'm really happy we got so many people to join and to submit cars. The variety of cars was exciting to me, and I can't believe the series is about to end. But we will end it with a banger, you can be sure of that. Imagine the year 1980. When you went to your Mercedes dealership that year and you wanted the flagship, the most powerful and the most luxurious car that they had, it would have been the 500 SL or its coupe version, the 500 SLC. Mercedes wanted to turn this rather large and bulky vehicle into a rally car. The goal was to compete with it in Group B for 1982, as there was a 5-liter division which would have been perfect for the car which had a just under 5-liter V8 engine. And for the season in between, so 1981, they would just use a lightly modified version of the road car. They signed Walter Röhrl under contract after he had won the 1980 World Rally Championship in the Fiat 131 Abarth, and testing began shortly after. Inevitably, some major changes had to be made to the car in an attempt to make it suitable for rallying. But one day in 1981, only a few months before the season's first event at Monte Carlo, Röhrl was doing some winter testing on a supposedly closed road in Austria, actually not that far from where I live. However, despite having the road closed by the police, there was still a big truck going down the narrow road the other way, and Röhrl was able to avoid a frontal crash, but the road was just too narrow to avoid a collision altogether, and so the result was a pretty big accident. Thankfully, Röhrl was able to escape with just minor injuries, but the test car was completely destroyed. Shortly after, the Mercedes engineers, clearly concerned about how things had developed, asked Röhrl, "Walter, do you think there's a chance you might not win Monte Carlo this year?" He responded saying, "Considering recent events, that chance has gone up dramatically." And they took his word for it. They withdrew from the competition. They signed Röhrl out of the contract and gave him a good amount of money for his efforts and the risks he took for them. He eventually ended up with Porsche for that year, but the big deal was that Mercedes had cancelled all plans for further rally car development, including Group B. So, while Mercedes failed to turn their 500 SLC into a viable rally car, maybe you guys can. To participate, you have to download the base car from the link in the video description, copy that file into Document, My Games, Automation, CarSaveImport, and then start automation. Once you find the car in your sandbox, please click on Clone, and then you select Trim and Variant. The reason you need to clone both is because if you just revise the base car and send it back to me, it will override my original car. And then if somebody else does the same thing, their car will then override yours. Whereas if you make a clone, it will show up as a separate version under the same base model, just like here. Once you've made a clone, please set both the trim and variant year to 1982. And from there, the following rules apply. Firstly, you can't engine swap. So you can't just make a new engine for this car. Mercedes wouldn't have done that. They would have worked with what they already had. And on the engine, here on the engine family tab, you can't change anything. You can't change the family bore and stroke, you can't change the valvetrain, you can't change these materials here from the block. But anything from here in the variant, so bottom end, top end, anything here, can be changed. And if you want to go turbocharged, in accordance with the rules of the 5-liter division of Group B, then you would have to go down to 3570 cc, which you can actually with this engine, so you can lower bore and stroke enough to make it suitable here. But again, if you want to keep it naturally aspirated, it's basically at the limit anyway at 49.73. Maximum would have been 49.99. Anything else here you can change as much as you want. The fuel type needs to remain 95 unleaded, so a premium unleaded. Anything else you can change, but not here on the family tab. So the body shape needs to stay, so it needs to remain a coupe. You can't turn it into a wagon or a convertible or anything else. And as far as the aesthetics go, you need to leave the taillights in place, as well as the headlights and the main grille to keep the classic SL look. You can change anything else you want. If you remove these additional headlights down here, then you need to add a set of auxiliary headlights of some kind. I will count these if you leave them in place, but if not, then you need some other type of auxiliary lights for the front. So the only other restrictions that are in place for the trim here is, for one, the tire widths. So since we are in the 5-liter division, you can use up to 660 millimeters of rubber on each side. So that means you could theoretically go 325s front, 335s rear, or 305s front and 355s rear. That would still be allowed. You need to have 2 seats, no power steering, and 70 standard safety, and the minimum weight of the final car is 1235 kilograms. So your car needs to weigh at least 1235 kilograms, although looking at the starting weight, it's probably going to be more than that anyway. Apart from that, you can change anything here you want. You can rest the suspension, you can change the drive type if you want to, you can add a diff, you can change the tire compound, anything else. You can add, aerodynamic fixtures, change the downforce, and so on and so forth. You can change the aesthetics all you want, as long as you leave the main headlights, taillights, and main grille in place. Anything else you can change as much as you want. So with that, let's get into the last part of the video. The deadline for this challenge will be the 28th of June at 5 PM Central European Standard Time. At 6 PM Central European Standard Time that same day, so 1 hour later, we will have our first race. It will be on Italy Mixed Circuit. Then on the 4th of July at 6 PM Central European Standard Time, we will have our second race at Utah Old Mill Loop. And then the third race will be on the 5th of July at 6 PM Central European Standard Time, and it will take place at Pikes Peak Gravel Short. To submit your car, go over to your automation sandbox, choose your car, and click on Save Car for Export, and then drag and drop that file into the Community Challenge Files subchannel on my Discord. The link will be in the description. If you have any further questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I really look forward to driving your tuned cars. It's gonna be a blast, and I hope to see you on the stream. Until then, have a good one and see you next time. Goodbye.